My name is Liam Ferguson. I graduated St. Joe's University in 2024. I am currently employed by Aon Financial Services, and my job title is Associate Broker within the Life Sciences practice. I'm an insurance broker. A broker in the insurance world negotiates pricings for insurance policies for certain companies. My job entails working with underwriters as well as pharmaceutical companies within the life science practice. And we find those rates for our clients in order to give them the best policies possible. At St. Joe's University, I was a risk management insurance major. I entered the field from a friend of mine who told me to major in risk management insurance. I didn't feel comfortable majoring in accounting or marketing. I didn't think those would suit me best. I fell into risk management insurance through his advice, and the path for success basically looks like going through the risk management process, joining GIS, and then ultimately landing an internship, which will then propel you into the workforce, feeling equipped and ready to tackle your job. The biggest skill that I learned that helped me in my role is communication. Being able to talk confidently and slowly, especially when speaking to not only clients, but your peers, to really give them everything that you need to come across and make your point. Second, I would talk to about is networking, and not only networking, but socializing within the workplace. Because at the end of the day, when you are working with these people, they are not robots on your screen. They're not someone you are just talking to on a one off occasion. You are talking and communicating with people, negotiating every single day. Having the skills to do that and being confident enough to be personable and being like, hey, how was your day? Or I know your kids just got dropped off at school. How's that for you? Just came off of maternity leave. How was that? Those are really important to be able to identify this is a real person. I'm building this relationship, and they will ultimately be able to help me help them in the future. Gamma Iota Sigma GIS is definitely the first one I would invest into socializing and networking in within SJU. The resources you have at St. Joe's University within the risk management insurance program are only amplified by joining this social insurance fraternity. You get constant networking advice, you get one on one coaching and workshop exposure that you wouldn't get outside of the program, and you get the opportunity of meeting with industry experts on a weekly basis. Dr. Marianne Cook and Susan Kearney do a phenomenal job at bringing the program to life. Outside of GIS, any business or social fraternity slash sorority is phenomenal. You want to be able to mix in having that business and professionalism as well as that socialism and constant comfortability when it comes to networking, because at the end of the day, when you're talking with people, they want to know you for you outside of the workplace as well and how they can relate to you. That's what builds bonds and relationships that will carry over a lifetime. My biggest networking tip that I could give to a student in my shoes would have been to just say yes, and saying yes to not only the stuff you don't want to go to, but the stuff that you're not really familiar with. I can't tell you how many times that I was in a situation where someone was like, hey, I have this networking event that I want you to go to, and I don't know anything about it. I just said, sure. Can I make it? Absolutely. Or I'll make time for it. Because the people that I met there, the networking that I did, and the friendships that I ultimately built through just saying yes and showing up was immensely helpful in my journey to where I am today. Diversity and inclusion means that I'm able to express myself freely in any environment. And especially with my background, one of the barriers that I have faced has been competency, especially given on my age and my limited exposure within the industry and how to navigate that. So for me, speaking clearly and confidently has always been at the forefront of my mind, because if I'm able to speak something confidently and I could be wrong, at least I have the understanding that what I'm saying is believed to be true and I will back up that statement. And the other reason is because if I don't know an answer, I'm comfortable enough to say I don't know and learn from the industry best practices, because those people who have been in the industry for 30 plus years will look at someone like me who has limited experience and can be confident in certain things that he has or she has done, but while saying I don't know, ultimately gives me the credibility of like, wow, this guy's honest. If I can trust his no, I can definitely trust his yes in the future. Some of the resources I would recommend to a student going into my field or into the workplace in general, I have three books that I would highly recommend you read. One would be $100 Million Offers by Alex Ramosi. The second is Just Show Up Every Day by James McGuire, St. Joe's Own. And the third would be 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. Two of those are more business specific, and the third is more life general. But those two business books not only show you how to capitalize on the relationships you have in order to network and ultimately lead an industry into success, but how to be comfortable in an industry in which you have to sell yourself every day, which is every industry. Because if they want to buy something from you or they want to learn something from you, they need to like you first. And if you can be consistent, like James McGuire says, just show up every day in his book, that consistency will beat the spectacularness and the approach to always feel the need to improvise or improve. You won't be able to top yourself every other day. But if you can show up every day, it will ultimately lead you to that success. The last book I would recommend is 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. The other two were business focused books, but this one really solidifies all of those ideas into one's own personal life. Relationships, fundamentals on your routine, overall mental and emotional health are the key factors to success. This book teaches you and enrolls you into the idea of perfecting those tools, which will ultimately lead you to success. Something I wish someone told me when I was a student at SJU to help pave the way to success would have been to stop wasting time and to simply do more. You can always do more. And I know there are days where you may feel overwhelmed and anxious, excited, fearful of an exam, an event, any gathering, but you always have the ability to do more. And I think a lot of college kids suffer from this sense of freedom and the initial aspect of planning their day as a challenge. And especially when you're learning that process, you have the ability to set your own days. That doesn't usually happen after college. You are set in your regimen with your work, your social life, and your friends and hang out with your family. Time slips away so quickly. Do the groundwork now. Do it while you're in school. Build that momentum, because once you graduate and you are in the workplace, not only will it be easier, but you'll be so much more ahead than your peers and be able to comfortably say that I have done the hard labor early and I have the strength and the capacity to complete more and take on more as I age.